Hey, what's up with it? How y'all doing, man? I'm just rolling, looking around, thinking to myself, man, how is it that so many young black boys are dying out in these streets, going to prison? Or how we losing so many of our youth? Is it a result of a lack of love, or is it the result of a lack of nurturing? Why we losing so many of our kids to these streets? Why we burying so many of our youth? How we done became to be so heartless and uncaring when we dealing with each other? Who responsible for this? Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's get some understanding about it. I think for the most part, the whole family structure is responsible for it. The breakdown of the family structure is responsible for us losing our youth. For one, being that we don't have no structure to our families, most of the time we don't have no order. It's not a check and balance system. Everybody is just kind of in survival mode. Because nobody prepared for the responsibilities that they expected to respond to. What you mean by that? Most of the time we had kids, we didn't even understand things that we needed to have in place before we started having kids. We just started having kids. And then once they got here, we started blind man shuffling through parenthood, trying to figure out what we need to do and how we need to do it. We didn't know nothing about having certain type of expenses already set aside. So with us operating like that, we bring in kids into the world who are affected from all of these compromised conditions. And speaking of compromised positions, if you a parent and you done created a child from your compromised state, you don't even have the psychological makeup, the spiritual makeup, the financial makeup to properly love and nourish this child, because you're not even properly loving and nourishing yourself. And as a result, the kid starts to evolving and developing and suffering in the womb. The suffering starts in the womb, because most of the time we don't know how to properly nourish this child, and the nourishment for the child in the womb don't just start, and it's not restricted to the physical nourishment. The spiritual nourishment starts in the womb. The emotional nourishment starts in the womb. The psychological nourishment and development starts in the womb. But if you're not aware of this, that means that you're not doing this. And if you're not doing it, you're neglecting to do it. And if you're neglecting to do it, it's consequences as a result of this. What are these consequences? Nobody really knows. But I'm inclined to believe that some of this shit that we seeing are the consequences, or the results, excuse me, are the results of the negligence That's how we got kids that haven't even experienced. They have experienced very little about life, and they so heartless. They so uncaring. They so cruel. Because from the womb, they've been getting dealt with in a heartless, uncaring, nonchalant type of manner. And you know, we all know that our environment creates our character. It dictates and determines who we become, because we have to develop and evolve according to our environment. Your environment automatically ignites your instincts inside you to be able to come up with and do the things that you need to do to survive in that environment. Yeah, your environment dictates and creates your character. And I thought about this because I look at my kids and I'm always trying to compare my kids to me. And I say, well, the environment that I came up in was totally different from the environment that my kids are coming up in. Therefore, a lot of the things that was essential to my development, they not gonna get it, because it's not there to be got. They don't need it. And the things that's essential to their development, I didn't get it because I didn't need it to survive. So I didn't develop like them, and they didn't develop like me. And most of the times when we look at our kids, they don't have the perseverance and the wherewithal that we have, or whatever, because as a result of what we did or didn't have, we created conditions for our kids. And those conditions is what creates and develops our kids. That's why most of the time we look at our kids and say, boy, ain't no way you could have endured what I went through when I was your age. Most of the time, I'm looking for my damn camera. I think I went off of it. But anyway, yeah, most of the time, we didn't even need to go through what we went through. But we had to go through it to become who we had to become.